huge thank you to Marco for getting this call working.
Woo!
And everyone, touch your chest and be grateful in your heart for technology, because right now, all of us are all over the world and we get to be in each other's living rooms with this platform. So be grateful for it. Paul, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great, buddy. How about you?
I'm feeling great. Let's rock. So guys, in the comments, I can't see the comments, but comment and let us know what OG product you're drinking. I'm on some King right now. And I got my water and I got my OGX. I'm ready to go. Paul, what you drinking?
Oh man, it's a chilly night in Toronto. I've got some mocha going on, my friend.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Comment what city or country you're coming from. And I want to know who is coming to the OG getaway. Who is going to make it? Who is qualified? So, guys, we're on the call to do 3 things, and we're going to bust it, okay?
Yeah.
Our goal is to do 3 things. Number 1 is to inspire you. Number 2 is to share stories so that you believe that your dream life is possible. And number 3, we want to give you strategies to make those dreams a reality much faster. So I have got the most wonderful man in Toronto. Dr. Paul Charlton is on the call with me. He's one of the cornerstones and the foundational pillars of the Toronto market, which is likely going to be breaking a diamond this month, okay? And Paul, you're very likely to be going Ruby this month. And Dr. Paul is somebody that I have the blessing to work with because I look up to him. He's more advanced than me, smarter, better at this business than me in so many ways. And I'm really, really grateful to have you on this call. So I just want to hear your story and, what got you started, your background, your vision for the future, and anything about Toronto you want to share.
Thanks so much, Jacob. I really appreciate it. Those are kind words. I'm following youth here because you're leading the way, my friend. This call is really about you. I am only holding the mic for you, my friend, because you have so many beautiful stories, so many beautiful slides that you're going to show, and I don't want to waste any time getting to them. First of all, thank you again, Organo, for having me on and making this technology happen. And also, happy Victoria Day to all the Canadians out there. Hopefully you're got your favorite OG beverage and you're ready to go. So I am Dr. Paul Charlton. I am a chiropractor. I have a successful practice in Toronto. And my wife, Nancy, and I, we're just coming over 3 years in Organo. And we are Sapphire consultants. And yes, Ruby is definitely in the cards. Briefly, my Organo story is probably similar to a lot of the health practitioners in our group. This gentleman by the name of Dr. Bob Rakowski shows up at a seminar to do an amazing presentation on the health benefits of Ganoderma. But he brought his 2 special sidekicks with him in my case in Toronto. He brought Miss Diane Solano and Mr. Namdo. And, by the end of that seminar, how can you refuse someone that serves you your first cup of, OG coffee and says, happy, beautiful day? How can you refuse that? So, I think Miss Diane Solano, she put me in a headlock, and Mr. Namdo had one arm behind my back. And anyway, gold pack out the door. I went home, and I walked in the door, and I said to my wife, Nancy, I said, Nancy, we're doing a network marketing business, and it's to do with coffee and mushrooms. And I'll tell you, she was so excited. And I'm going to tell that story much later because we're cutting time, but thank God I have a supportive wife. That's all I can say. But going back to Dr. Bob, I just want to give a big shout out for him. I joined Organo because of Dr. Bob, and I know he has integrity. I know that he would not harm anyone, and I know he would do his research. Can we all agree on that? Absolutely he would. So honestly, I bought in because of Dr. Bob, and I know you become who you associate with. And I so look forward to associating more and more with like-minded, successful, orientated people. So that's why I got involved, basically. So again, things are happening in Toronto, Jacob. Yes, there is most likely a diamond this month. There's this young, beautiful woman that keeps driving around her, premium fuel Mercedes-Benz all over the greater Toronto area. She's doing mixer, and then going to events. And Miss Diane Solano is going diamond. You mark my word. Last year, we had something explosive happen in Toronto. the master communicator, joined the team, Dr. Sachin Patel, and he actually brought some rocket fuel with him. So the meetings in Toronto, they're buzzing, they're full of activity, and it's so exciting to be in Toronto. All the oars are in the water at the same place, and we're pulling together as a team. We're excited. Super Sunday, again, it's coming this Sunday. Dr. Sachin, Miss Diane Solano, your father, Dr. Bob, is in the house. And for the first time in Toronto, Miss Casey Nielsen. I guarantee you, if you're not there an hour before the gates open, you're not getting in. It's going to be standing room only. So I'm pretty excited about that, as you can tell on that. But listen, a lot of fantastic things happening. I don't want to take away from the talk on you, because I know you got some amazing slides. But so I don't know if you know this, Jacob, but when I got into the business, Miss Diane said, you need to go on Facebook and you need to start following this Jacob Rakowski. Because I don't know if you remember, you used to do Facebook Lives every day. I would see you walking through airports doing talks. I'd see you on beaches doing talks. I'd see you in Lamborghinis doing talks. You ooze passion, you know, it was so contagious. I joked with Nancy, you're my vitamin J for Jacob, obviously. So very, very excited to hear that and grow with you. But before we get to the slide presentation, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. So my family's heart, because of you, thousands and thousands of distributors are now part of Organo. Is because of you saying yes when you were 18 years of age. You know, I thank you. And some people don't know who you are, because we've had so many signups over the last year. They don't know who you are, Jacob. And when you look at the top, say 25 people on the getaway, if you didn't say yes, I can say probably about 15 of those names, those awesome leaders on that name board, would not be on that, and that would be just a darn shame. So again, I'm so grateful, and I'm so looking forward to hearing your story. I've seen some of it, so it's pretty amazing. And so please take over the call. I don't want to waste another second. I want to know just a few things though. I want a trip down memory lane. I want to know, how did you get introduced to the business? I want to know, what was the slide? What was the saying that the switch flipped for you, that you said, I'm doing this business? And I want to know what it was like in the beginning. I want to know what the struggles were. I want to know what you had to overcome and what got you to where you are today. So it's tall order. We got a little bit of a time crunch, but I know you can do it, and you're up for the challenge, pal.
Here's the deal, OG family. I'm getting all these slides done regardless. I've spent over 12 hours putting this together. This slideshow is happening. We're going to move. Okay. So when I was 18 years old and I got started, I did not start off as somebody people would listen to. It took years before people of influence were willing to listen to what I had to say. And I'm going to do a slideshow, actually, because I believe pictures are worth a million words. And I also want to show you where I really started, so that you can say, man, if he can do it, I can do it. And I don't want to brag on myself, because I live an incredible life thanks to Organo. I want to brag on God, and I want to brag on Organo for the life that they've given me. So I'm going to weave story in with success principles and strategies that I relied upon to experience success. So as you can see right here, I started as a high school senior. That's me right there. And this is me right here on the right at Young Life Camp on the top of a mountain, giving gratitude to God for being alive. And I want all of you to just feel in your heart gratitude for life and this opportunity and this product, because imagine what your life would be like without it. Just think about that for a second, because when I get through with this, I can't even imagine what my life would be like. But you know, Young Life is where I met my sponsor in Organo. That's a camp for youth, basically, to get out of trouble and get focused on what matters. And he was also my Bible study leader, and this is me at church camp in Colorado. And these are actually the people that introduced me to the business. My sponsor did, but this woman right here was a 21-year-old driving a Maserati, living in a high-rise in downtown Houston at the time. I'm 18 years old, just about to graduate high school, and I met these people, and I said, show me what you did, please. I will follow exactly what you say. And what did it for me was I saw the slide that said, back in the day we had a different presentation, and it said, if you get 2,000 on this side, you get 2,000 on this side, and each order this much, you can make 40,000 a month. I said, hold on. Hold on. Stop. Sign me up right now. Just sign me up. And I got a gold pack on my credit card right then and there. And I went home, and my dad's an entrepreneur, so I knew he was going to be really excited. And I thought everybody was going to be this excited. I'm not kidding. And all of you know Dr. Bob, and you've seen how passionate and excited he is about Organo. But I guarantee you, as passionate and as excited as he is today, he was the exact 180 7 years ago. And this was everybody's face when I shared that I started a network marketing business to do with coffee and Ganoderma. People were like, what? Is that a drug? What is that? You're never going to make it. In fact, the first day that I joined in high school, I went and told my friends, and they laughed so hard at me, I almost quit. I was not that emotionally strong. I didn't have a lot of self-confidence, and I didn't have the foundation of belief in myself to stand up against that. So, I went and talked to my high school counselor, and she was like, dude, you're going to be laughing several years from now. You need to go and you need to use that as motivation. So, what I love is when people doubt me, because it makes me work harder to prove them wrong. And I was so grateful. And you need to ask yourself, who is hating on you and how can you use that as motivation? I said, Dad, I'm cool with you not getting started or whatever, but one day you will. You're going diamond. You need to be a product of the product to go diamond. So you need to drink our coffee. You need to use our soap and our toothpaste. And you need to get all your clients drinking Organo, because this is the best stuff ever, okay? And as you can see, he was fired up about this was 6 months into the business, and we dragged him to a presentation. And now I want to defend his stance, because rightfully so. Dr. Bob has a reputation for over 20 years of saving people's lives and working with athletes that perform miracles in the Olympics. These people perform athletic miracles. They've trained their whole life for this stage. And if they consume something that is out of line with what they can consume, their career is over. So I don't knock him for being skeptical, but it took me 730 follow-ups and over a year of consistently saying, hey, you need to do this. And I also want to give a massive shout out to Mr. Namdo up here at the top for always holding the marker and showing me the way when I had no clue at the very beginning of this business. Truthfully, I had no clue what to do, but I just put my dad on a three-way call with Namdo. He did all the talking, and I said, that's right, exactly what he said. So how did I get started? First off, I needed to change my mindset. You're not going to be successful in this business unless you saturate your mind with the consciousness of success, okay? Think and Grow Rich was my mindset book, 18 years old. How to Win Friends and Influence People was my people skills book, 18 years old. And I very tactfully hijacked my dad's office, and I came in when he wasn't there, and I set this little station up right here, as you can see. Dare to be bold and try a sample of the world's best tasting, healthiest coffee. Try green tea, da-da-da. We have promotional pricing for $25. Here's about Ganoderma, and I just basically said, this is going to happen. And I was pretty direct about it. He would not even put his name on his own Organo website for the first year. But how did I make my money back from that gold pack? Because I put $1,300 on a credit card, and I now had a very short period of time to make my money back, 60 days before I started building interest. Well, I made my money back with innovation, okay? I went door to door with these little things right here around Easter, and I was raising money for church camp. And I moved all of my product. I paid off my credit card in less than 60 days. So essentially, I got started and created this amazing life on hard work and an interest-free loan. Jim Rohn says, innovation is what you need. A little ingenuity. Anybody can do this. I don't recommend that you have to do this. This is not the golden ticket. There's a lot better strategies nowadays. 7 years ago, this is what I did. I delivered this note to everybody who to purchase product from me. And I said, thank you so much for supporting my fundraiser. Thanks to you, I raised over $750 for myself to go to church camp and $750 for other kids who can't afford it to go to Young Life Camp. You have contributed to changing someone's life, and that is a priceless value. Hashtag winning, right? So, and yeah, that's me with all my money. I was so proud of myself. And I had an absolute purpose to prove the people wrong who said it couldn't happen. That was my motivation. My motivation was financial at the very beginning. So this is me, high school graduation, and I smiled that big, and I don't know if I've ever smiled that big ever again, because I was done with high school. Everyone else was figuring out what college they were going to. I was going to college, but I knew this was my path, and I went absolutely all in. And within 6 months in Organo, back in the day, we had a Mercedes-Benz bonus. That's 18-year-old me, 6 months in the business, no network, no influence, just busting it every single day. And I qualified for a black Mercedes-Benz. And everyone went, huh? What is this? I really don't understand. Now, this was my dorm room. Most people have, whatever else in their dorm room. This was mine. Okay, Colorado State University. I fell in love with Colorado because of this church camp I went to. And I said, there's nothing like the nature here. I have got to spend more time here. And this was my dorm room. Okay, I was doing mixers in here. I was absolutely all in. Little did I know, only 20 minutes away from my school were some little angels named the Nielsen family, blue diamonds in the company. 20 minutes away. How am I supposed to just pick that? This was all, organized by something a lot greater than me, but they had a center where you could bring your prospects and build your business. Okay. So I kept rolling and just kept rolling and kept going. And then eventually I got to my first major event. This was in the Nosebleeds in New Orleans, October 2012. And I've not had many nosebleeds in my life, but I had one sitting here. And I said, you know what? Never again am I going to sit this high up. I have got to advance. This was my big team. I was a Sapphire, but because you're a Sapphire doesn't mean you have a big team. You can do it on hard work alone. Okay. This was my big team. These people I lifeguarded with and I went to high school with. That is it. Now, fortunately, my uplines came to rescue me from school, and they said, Jacob, you can do this. And I missed the photo. There's a photo of me holding like $10,000 or I think it was like $5,000 in cash. I didn't put it on here. I missed it. But I started making a lot of money. And I thought, oh my gosh, I love this business. I can absolutely do this. So what did I do? I burned the bridge, just like it said in Think and Grow Rich. I drove home. I gave my semester back to school. I was done with it. I drove home and absolutely went all in. And these are the daily habits of success you need to follow. Number one, replace all your products with OG products. I did that. If you were my friend and you drank Starbucks, I had to hold my tongue. Share the products, 2 people per day, okay? I was committed. Share the opportunity using, some technology, one-on-ones, meetings, Zooms, whatever, at least 1 per day. I was committed to personal development. Maybe you have a book of the month that you're reading, convention notes. I was doing this at least an hour a day, and I was promoting events every single day. And I mean, I was all in because I saw a way for me to create freedom. And you should do all of these every single day. And a year in, I changed. I was growing. I was winning. I was committed to the process of success. I heard on a call one day, look at your life. Does an OG diamond do the things you do? If there's things that you're doing that an OG diamond doesn't do, don't do them. And immediately I started changing my activities, changing my behavior, changing my associations. I went all in. And this is just a random snapshot of a month that I took, but this was my calendar. And this was every day for 18 months and really more like 3.5 years. Why? Because in this business, Shane Moran says, in the beginning, you're going to work, and then get paid. And for time's sake, eventually, you're going to work, travel, get paid. Work, travel, go on vacation, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid. And I knew that was possible. So I just said, you know what? Dr. Bob, I followed up with you 730 times, whether in person or over the phone, 2 times per day for an entire year. And there was an event in Houston, Texas. And I said, are you ready to go diamond? This is me and Kelly at the first event. And I said, are you ready to go diamond? And every single time he would say, if you ask me again, geez, like I asked him so many times, I really pushed it to the limit every day.
So how did you get him there?
I pulled the card on him. I said, Dad, you said you would support me. You said, no matter what, you would support me. And he said, I think he said something like this. Are you serious? And I said, yeah. I said, yeah, you said you would support me. You need to be there. And he said, where is it? I said, Houston. We live in Houston. And he goes, okay, I'll be there. Now, keep in mind, this is the first event I dragged Dr. Bob to. He was across the street in the park most of the day because he loves nature just like me. You know, we're basically twins. He loves nature just like me. And he was honestly for most of the event in nature, but he walked in at the right time, hearing the right person, and literally his mind did what mine did. And he went, are you serious? This is amazing. And he said, you know what? It would be selfish of me not to share this opportunity. So here's me and my team again, my buddies, one of my best friends, his best friend, one of my best friends. None of them are in the business today, but they got started with me, right? And here's another principle. This is me and my good friend, another good friend. We were in the front row as often as we could. And you see how passionate we were. We were sold out on us. We were our own biggest fan. And I want to ask you, are you your biggest fan? You know, do you get fired up about getting free? What is it that lights you up? You need to find that and then use that to pour into this opportunity. And, you know, that's what happened. Well, what I also started doing for the first year, get this, Dr. Bob, I said, Dad, this is a better option for your patients, you know, and for your clients. You do seminars, you need to serve this at your seminars. And he said, okay, I'll do that. He would serve the coffee and they would say, where can I get it? And then he'd say, call my son. And I hijacked those contacts and I started sponsoring all of them under him under his ID, of course. And before you know it, he had like 60 people in his team. Yeah. And I was like, when are you ready to go? When are you ready to go?
Yeah. That reminds me of Jordan Adler's book when he says, Beach Money, he says, through every dud, there's a stud. Sorry, Dr. Bob.
No, Dr. Bob is like the stud. And he's
I know he is.
and a lot of studs. But after that event, things started to change. You know, we would have mixers at our house and we had the Mercedes-Benz bonus. We played up the lifestyle. All of these were Organo Mercedes. This is Kelly in the front row. Kelly was like, yeah, this is great. You know, Nam Do is leading from the front again. And my dad's like, you know, he's in at that point. He was excited, but he's still, you know, he has a lot on the line. So I really don't, you know, he was right to do that because he's built a really, really strong reputation. It takes years to build a reputation. It can be destroyed overnight. So I don't do that at all. But the team is growing. And as you can see, Dr. Bob has one foot in, you know, and he's getting excited. Now, this is when the business started to make sense to me. About a year in, we took a family vacation. I literally hadn't breathed in like a year and a half, and I said, okay, I'm going to go to South Africa because I'm not going to be able to do it again. And I got to play with lions. We got to eat next to giraffes in the safari. Elephants were drinking from our pool in the morning. I went on a vacation, and I checked my back office, and people were still ordering, and people were still joining, and I was still making money. And we even saw 4 cheetah brothers make a live kill. And while I'm living my life traveling, we're making money. And I thought, this is the real deal. So what we were always taught to do is promote local events like crazy. And Melissa Brennan did that. And she explained that on the call she did a couple weeks ago. Always personally, at 18 years old, I bought 100 tickets to every Super Saturday, and I moved them personally through my team or through my guests. And I wasn't even going to make it to this Super Saturday, this one right here. I flew home from South Africa, straight home from South Africa, okay, 18-hour flight, and I went straight to the Super Saturday from the airport. And I told Mr. Bugs, I just flew 18 hours to be here. You are going to know me. And he went, are you serious? And I went, that's right. So, you know, at that point, things really started to take off. And I was all in. This is how I would dress every single day. I talked to 10 people every single day in the same mall for 18 months. I had no influence. It was not the best strategy. And I was always wondering, when I look back on it, why didn't I think of a better strategy? Because you'd notice the same person in a suit walking through the mall every day, talking to 10 people for 18 months. Eventually, people were just like, yeah, I know who you are, and it was ridiculous. But this is all I knew. This is all I was taught. This was the era we were in. Now we're a lot more lifestyle. We're a lot more casual. But although if you are younger, I will say, if you don't have credibility, it does help to dress for success. So once again, I will share with you, I never have ever missed an Organo event over the last 7 years. By any means necessary, we were going to make it to the events. We rented we didn't know this, but I was getting creative to get my team to the event. I rented a van. It was a 12-person van. We didn't know that didn't include luggage. We put 14 people with luggage in a 12-person van, and we tried to put 12 to a hotel room. The adults weren't having that. We put 7 to a hotel room, and this is us just riding it out. Now, this is when the money started to come in. This was my team. It grew, I bought my team a meal for the first time. It was over $500. And I started to see that this business really could make an impact. What 18 or 19-year-old, I think it was 19, has the money to spend $500 just generously? And I felt so good inside doing that. Now, this is not the point, but none of them are with me today. But I want to share with you guys, people are going to come and go. Just don't let that person be you. You've got to ride it out, okay? My confidence started going up, as you can see, hashtag confidence going up. And at this point, Bob is all in. He went to the event in Atlanta with us, and from his first event to there, he went emerald in 4 months. My 730 follow-ups paid off. The meetings were starting to grow. It was really exciting. 18 months in Organo, I bought my second Mercedes. I traded it in, the other one in, for an S550. And once again, people were like, what? Okay. And now I made it to an event that was in Vegas. And there I got so inspired. I took my game to another level. And at that point, we had launched the country of Kenya. So me, Dr. Bob, and Nam Do took a case of coffee in our suitcase to Kenya, and we showed up knowing nobody, but within a couple days, we had meeting rooms this big, okay? Things were blowing up. And what happens in Kenya, if you go there, if you say the word opportunity, people will say, yeah, can I bring my 10 best friends? I would invite one person, 20 would show up. And I would have 15, 20, 25 guests at some meetings. And it was absolutely ridiculous. And I want to share with you guys, none are with us today. Why? Because at the time, we lacked the systems and the capability to retain people, especially at a distance. And that's what I want to get into with you guys tonight on the call. We're going to share with you guys something. We're going to completely open our book and share with you specifically how we've been able, and I don't want to divide, this team, that team, whatever, but I want to give you guys, open book, a rising tide raises all ships, how we've done it, and it's simpler than you think, okay? Now, when I got my first home at age 20, 2 years into Organo, everybody went, oh my gosh, and I just gave gratitude. I said, God is so good. At the time, I started getting first-class upgrades. Things really started upgrading. And now, 2.5 years later, I didn't live at home anymore, but when I'd come over, this is what the driveway would look like. Bob had this, Kelly had this. And at that point, as I said, I was working so hard and so focused, I made life bend to my will, and things started to happen that I couldn't even have imagined. Holton Bugs started to recognize me, started to pull me on stage. And I began to become absolutely obsessed with growth and the process and becoming better. And I'll say to you guys, when you start this business, especially when you have low or no influence, the more you grind, the faster you're going to become an influencer and a leader. But fortunately today, we have systems of technology and tools where you really don't have to put that much sweat labor in anymore. But I would work 10, 12 hours a day, every single day. I gave up everything in my personal life, no parties, no funerals, no weddings, no fun, no nothing. But I'll tell you guys right now, I'm not the best retailer. I'm not the best recruiter. I'm not the best presenter. I'm not the best at follow-up. I'm not the best event promoter. My strengths are, this is what I know. I'm very resourceful. I have a vision that will literally burn through steel. I live from my heart. I don't follow blindly. I always question things. You know, I'm coachable, but I always question things. And I say, how can I make this better? And that's because my connection with the universe is wide open. With God, it is so strong. And I just always seem to, know what to do when I need to do it. I follow my intuition. And I learned, from leadership trainings and so on, that after a while, my goal was not to be the best in my team, but I learned that it was important to start developing a culture and an environment that people loved. And that started with me. And I want to share with you guys, getting started as a distributor, you need to be, one of the strongest in your team. You need to be the best. But ultimately, you're going to make a shift to work smarter, not only hard, but smarter, and to become the best at developing leaders. My goal is to create an environment, a culture, and put other leaders in such a good position that they always shine, and the business is so seamless and simple that they can't help but to create the life of their dreams. My goal is to be the best at developing systems and creating leaders and influencers where they can step into those systems no matter how busy they are and step into their greatness. So, Dr. Paul, I want you to share. You're a busy guy. You have a business. You work, a little bit. More than a little bit. Share with us, what were the most common challenges you had at the beginning, and what are some challenges you see people like you that are busy have when they get started?
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight, Jacob. You're just rocking it out. This is so much fun. I'm loving these stories.
I'm just telling everybody, we are going past 9.
Yes, I know. All right. The 3 major ones that most people have objections to are obviously lack of funds, I don't have time, and I hate to admit it, MLM shame. Now, I'm not going to deal with the money issue. You can pre-sell coffee. We can deal with that issue. The time balancing, you're never going to be in work balance. You got to prioritize what you want in life, and energy goes where you put your attention. So you just got to prioritize. But the MLM shame, that's a big one to get over. Now, the first 6 months in Organo, I did the delicate dance. It wasn't until I went to an Eric Worre event, GoPro Academy. Again, I'm being very transparent here. I realized this business is for real. It's a professional business. It can be done professionally. And the next month we went PLE, and a couple of extra months after that we went Sapphire, bingo, like that. And that's not just ourselves. That's other family team members as well. So those are the 3 main objections. And again, I work 65 hours a week, so I need systems in place. I need to save time, energy, wherever I can just to get this business going.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I do want to let the host know, just to be sure, we are going to be respectful of time, but we are going to throttle through this, guys. So I think, Paul, you had a question for me.
Yeah, you know what, I didn't know. I don't know if most people know this. You went from Sapphire to Emerald in 1 day. Okay, I'm all ears. I've got my recorder going. My pen's in hand. I need to know, okay? And I'm sure the Brennans are doing the same thing.
So, I found myself, and this was a misperception, but I found myself stuck at the same position. I was Sapphire for 2.5 years. And if you've been at the same position for a while, you're not stuck. You just need to keep doing what you're doing, but there are ways that you can innovate to get better. And I decided to look within myself. I was not going to point the finger outside. Let me point the finger inside and said, in what ways can I improve? What is in the way of me to moving to my next level of love and success in my life? And I started to attend different seminars, GoPro, Network Marketing Pro, a Speakers Academy with Les Brown and Eric Worre, legends in the industry. But ultimately what did it for me was I had to look within myself and identify my own limiting beliefs and look in the mirror and understand where I wasn't valuing myself, where I wasn't loving myself, and where I was just not prepared to deserve internally within myself and receive the life of my dreams. And, if you've been stuck for a little bit, maybe do some soul searching and say, what do I need? In what ways can I innovate? In what ways can I upgrade and update my life to get better? And I started contemplating, and I started going to a lot of different personal development and spiritual development retreats. I started meditating. I started working less and focusing more on myself and my relationship with the divine, with God, with the universe. And there was a day, I took about 2 weeks off and I went to a retreat, and I really, really, really was able to reflect and contemplate. Keep in mind, I was not doing any work on the business, but then a day happened I will never, ever forget. We went to an event in Orlando called Go Diamond Weekend, okay? And it was in 2016. And they launched a promo pack that just made everybody go crazy. This was the month that Bob and Kelly went diamond as well. And I was going to a training in Houston, Texas. And at that training, I missed the first half of the training because I was signing up gold packs and promo packs outside the door. It was the 30th. There was 31 days in the month. It was the 30th, and I was throttling it. I was working it. When I reached a stop, I stepped in, and this woman said, somebody's going to take this information, Miss Cynthia Cook. She's a Ruby here in Houston. She said, somebody's going to take this information, and they're going to go sapphire in a day. And I said, no, I'm going to take this information. I'm going emerald today. I left that room walking on fire, and I drove home. It was about 35 minutes to get home. And I had been driving. This is on 59 in Houston, this cloud right here. May 30th, 2016. I looked up into the cloud, and I heard clear as day within me. I said, oh my gosh, I'm scared. Like, at this point, I had $30,000 in outside leg volume to do outside of Bob and Kelly's leg. And I'm a sapphire. That's doubling my volume that I normally do in a month, in a day. Yeah. And I was looking, and I was kind of frightened. And this, I'm not kidding, as clear as day, I heard inside of me the scripture, test me and see if I won't throw open the windows of heaven and pour out blessings bigger than you could ever contain. And I was like, I got to do it. I got to do it. The world needs me. They need the story. I got to do it. And I got working it. And I was calling everybody. I was just working it. And by the end of the day, I had 30,000 in volume to go. I closed out $28,000 in volume. I went to bed that night so deflated at 78,000 in volume. I had one day left, but I had exhausted every resource I had. And that night, and then that next morning at church, it was a Sunday, and I heard within me, do you think I would bring you this far to leave you? And I said, no. And we closed it out. I did 80,600 in volume. And the next day, Holton Buggs recognized me just as I told him. I said, this is going to happen. By slowing down to speed up, keep in mind, I took April almost halfway off. By slowing down to speed up, my income jumped from $6,000 in April to $14,000 in May. And this is the post that Mr. Buggs made. I admire the works of many great people, but there are some people who are my heroes. I'm going to, accelerate a lot of this. This young man joined at 18 and carries a positive attitude everywhere he goes for the last 2.5 years. He didn't know I'd been in for 3.5 years. First free Mercedes at age 18, and last month reached Emerald. He's a 21-star achiever and a superstar achiever. His residual income last month alone was nearly $13,000. This does not include Global Pool, Dual Team, any of that. I skipped Ruby. I was Ruby for less than 24 hours. I went straight to Emerald. It's not the amount of earnings, but to be 21 years of age and have a solid retirement residual greater than 99% of Americans is why I love network marketing. Jacob, thank you for being my hero. Now, Mr. Buggs was forgive me, but he was like, my Jesus. I was like, oh my gosh, this person is so awesome. I have to follow this person. Now, he wasn't my Jesus, but figure of speech. And I tell you this to brag on God and to brag on Organo and show you what is possible. And at this point, I realized, you know what, there's more to life. I'm young. I got to start living. I got to start experiencing. And this is such a great quote. Don't tell me how educated you are. Tell me how much you have traveled. Richard Branson said, business is not about suits and briefcases. It's about adventure. Okay. And from that point forward, I started taking adventures. I was doing mixers in Minneapolis. This was in Houston. I was traveling all over the place doing mixers, and I was doing them the way I wanted to do them. You can see me. I'm unconventional, but we're rocking. And we created a different environment. That was by choice. I was busting it every single day still. In between my travels, this was in the Bahamas. This is where I met the amazing Mr. Tommaso Aloisi from Italy. He is amazing. And I met another young person who's become one of my best friends through this business. We started having a lot more pool parties. Things became more fun. This is our culture. This was in 2016. We're having karaoke. You can see the faces. I was singing Baby Got Back, and she was like, oh, Lord. So anyway, she was not. Anyway, some people were liking it. Some, but more travels. This was in Mexico. This was in London. I was speaking at a university on entrepreneurship. I have not graduated from university. This was in London with Mr. Pete Cohen. We rocked it. We held the most amazing Organo event there. And I'm 20 years old at the time, maybe 21, leading people 2-3 times my age. And I just thought, like, God, how is this possible? It's amazing. But it's what happens when you put yourself first, you value and you love yourself, anything is possible. I was grinding still every single day, sharing the products as I went. I was on vacation at this point, sharing products with this guy, OG and Disney. We had an amazing time. And this was when things really started to change for me again, okay? At 21, I actually started earning a 6-figure income. And the company did something that I don't know how it even happened. I visualized this every single day, but it actually happened. I became the king of coffee at age 21, I think 21, maybe 22. And it just, oh my gosh, like when I look at this point, back at 18, when I was in high school, not knowing what I wanted to do with my life, and just saying, God, please give me something to allow me freedom. Help me live the best life possible for me. And Organo came my way through my Bible study leader. At that point, everything changed. I actually got a text from Holton Buggs. He said, Jacob, are you in Houston? Yes. Want to go to a mixer with me, launching someone? Yeah. Come with me. We will take the Lambo. I said, okay. Hey, you want to drive? Yeah, I'm going to drive. Okay. This was us at the mixer. And then I started to look even deeper. I began to, once I had enough passive income to breathe and not have to just struggle and fight so hard, I thought, how can I help the people in my organization have faster and more sustainable success? How can I help everybody have this incredible lifestyle? So many people had the capability, but they just got frustrated and quit too soon because network marketing is a business that takes time to learn. And I became obsessed with finding out the most common challenges that people face and providing solutions to them so that those challenges became obsolete. Now, don't get me wrong. With the right mindset and grit, any challenge is overcomable, okay? But I wanted to find a way to eliminate those problems so more people like you, Paul, that are busy, that don't have the time, could have the success with less hard work. And because of that, because of what we did, more people got in and they were staying around to get the results. And this is me at an amazing event with the man, Tony Robbins. And as Shane Moran says, by helping others decide and get what they want, you will achieve all of your goals. Okay, so once again, let me go to my notes here really quickly. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Paul, take it.
Change is really tough, Jacob, and I find it's probably one of the most difficult things to do. But really, life is about adapting and changing. So network marketing has changed dramatically from just all the readings I've done from the 80s, 90s forward. So why don't you dive deep into what you've been doing? Because honestly, you've saved so much time, and I'm so grateful for the systems that you've put in. And why don't you share that with the OG family?
Perfect. I've got a couple more slides, and I'm going to get right to that. And moderators, I will be done by 9:15, but we have got to get this information out. Spanish calls at 9:30. We will do it, okay? I'm throttling, just to let you guys know, okay? So anyways, well, as I started to travel the world, I thought, you know what? This business really can be like this for everybody. This is me in Italy, speaking, London, Romania, Italy, and we started searching for ways to make this business better by leveraging technology. And I will tell everybody on this call, this is up to you and your leaders to decide, but I would be robbing you if I did not tell you what was making everybody's life so much easier. We are opening up our playbook and sharing with you exactly how to save yourself so many years of effort. But imagine being in Costa Rica and your business is still growing. Imagine this happening once you've like reached a point where you can rest a little bit, and this is still happening, right? I was traveling to OGHQ in Vancouver. That was awesome. Christelle, Edward, Michael, some are in there. Ella, she's amazing. This rocked my world. I was in Vancouver to see the HQ, and the Chua family picked me up in their Range Rover, and I was floored. And they took me to dinner, and I thought, oh my gosh, what is life? I'm 22 or 23 years old now, and people underestimate what they can do in 1 year. I'm sorry, overestimate what they can do in a year. They underestimate what they can do in 3 to 5 years. And in 3 to 5 years, I didn't even know. I didn't even recognize this person. I went from this, I traded this in for this. This was my office, working from the pool, working on, well, not working on vacation, obviously, but, you know, we're going to share with you guys how you can be in paradise and do work and still be making money and leveraging your systems that you put in place. Working from the lake, doing meetings at the lake. Forget the old stuff. This is possible. It really is. Getting a massage on the beach. That's our wonderful Emerald, Sarah Moxham in UK. My amazing OG family, Paul, was with me every step of the way. This was when I landed in Toronto and I was headed to Europe. I had a 2-hour layover. You and Miss Nancy picked me up and we went for sushi. It was amazing. After that, I went to Prague, London, Ireland, Mexico. Well, I didn't go to Mexico on that trip. Italy, which is Verona, Milan. My passport was crazy. And I want to tell you guys, before I had money, that was my top priority. Once I had it, my top priorities became everything money can't buy. Health, joy, love, peace, freedom, unforgettable experiences, my spiritual life, my family, and so much more. And what we decided to do, we decided to take control and make our business a family. 4th of July party. Our business partners are family. This is Dr. Paul and Nancy with us. We took a leadership trip to Vancouver last year. I recommend all of you do that. Yes. And finally, I knew it was possible. I knew it was possible, and it happened. But I want to share with you guys the most amazing thing that's happened to me in the last 7 years. I took what seemed to be a routine trip to Toronto. And while I was in Toronto, I was doing mixers, doing meetings. And I still do, spiritual and personal growth and development a couple times a year, go to retreats, meditate, just completely unplug and relax. And while I was there, I actually attended Diane's sister's retreat center in Toronto. And I met this amazing woman right here. The picture's a little blurry, but I met this amazing woman right here. Keep in mind, I would not have been here if it was not for Organo. Why? Because Miss Diane Solano said yes to Organo and introduced me to her sister who runs this retreat center. And I met this phenomenal woman right here, my wife of this time. Right now, it's amazing. But, at the time, we fell in love. And when you know. And we actually I chose to take 100 days off from the business. Why? Because I knew it was possible. When you reach critical mass, you can take time off and get paid. Of those 100 days, not only did I still make money, I've never made more money in 100 days than those 100 days I took off. And I actually got to engage my beautiful wife on the USA-Canada border of Niagara Falls with her family. It was incredible. And now we actually got the blessing to get married with the entire OG family at UTX on February 22nd, 2019. This is us. We're living our best life. And I want you to see Miss Stella and Miss Adeline Chua were at our dinner and our wedding. Mr. Bernie was at the wedding, but this was the night before UTX, so he didn't make the dinner. He had to go prepare. But this is us living our best life. And these are our CEO and founders being with us. And there's nothing like this company. Now we're free. I built my business so I could do this. Now, we love our life. We're 25 and retired. She's 23, but 25 and retired. We do what we want. We can go anywhere in the world because our income is now based on systems, not location. I now work when I want to, not because I have to. And I only work when I'm inspired to. No more suits or crazy working myself to the bone. I'm living my best life, guys. This is me, and people are still looking at me like that, okay? And These are the people that matter most to me, okay? And I just want to tell you guys, I love God. I love my life. I love my wife. I love this moment. I love my family. And by the way, it was worth it. So in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to share with you guys how it can be possible for you so much faster. And I just want to share with you guys that this is not something you have to do. You can plug your ears, but this is something that I would be robbing you of if I did not share with you. So Paul, share a little bit about change and share a little bit about how what I'm going to share has benefited your life and your business.
Well, you know, we talked about earlier that change is very difficult for a lot of people, and network marketing has changed, whether you like it or not, and you need to leverage your time. We're all busy. I'm doing 65 hours a week, still in practice. I've got 3 adult kids. I'm driving to Niagara Falls to watch hockey games. I'm also managing my parents' finances and looking after their care because they're senior now, and we're busy. We need to find systems that give us a break. And what you've created, I want you to get right to it because it's absolutely outstanding and it has been a blessing for Nancy and I.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I just want to share with you guys that this business, and if you do it the right way, you really can wake up when you're done sleeping. You really can live the life of your dreams, whatever that is. Sometimes the only time you'll have to wake up early is to catch a plane because you and your family are going on a vacation, okay? If you do what you need to do and then create the right environment and leverage, the thing is going to keep on growing with or without you. It'll reach a point where it will not stop growing even if you want it to. And let me just get to my notes here. Okay. So once again, let's get right into it, just being fully transparent. This is going to be up to you as a leader to implement, but we're going to open our playbook, as I said, and give you everything we have. We want to share this willingly with love because this has made every single person in our organization, their life so much easier and their incomes so much bigger, so much faster. We want to help you raise the belief and the skill of your organization. We want to help you saturate them with an environment of growth and success. There are some problems that are real, and people do face these in network marketing. What are the most common challenges people face? Duplication, retention, long-term growth, people getting burned out because of lack of duplication, MLM shame, third-party validation at the beginning when a person doesn't have success or education about the products or business, time. Some people say they don't have the energy to contribute after work. Some people say they aren't patient enough to put in the effort consistently in this business. And all of those are relatable, but also they're overcomable. And you've got to be the leader that overcomes them and says, I am going to pave the way for everyone to have an easier life with more success and less hard work. This is going to help you take your distributors from a 1 to 3 year learning curve to a 1 to 3 month learning curve. This is not just about right now success, but repeatable, sustainable success over and over and over again. If you needed to fly to the destination of your dreams, would you take a bike or would you take a plane? We're going to introduce you to the plane. Social media and Facebook groups are now giving you the ability to set foot on a plane and create success for you and everybody in your organization with much less struggle and much more ease in much less time. Now, as I mentioned, you need to decide with you and your upline or your organization, your team, whether you're going to do this or not. But I want to share with you guys a couple stories of how these have been implemented, and we will be done by 9:15. The Brennans actually leveraged these systems that I'm going to share with you guys to go Ruby while they were at Disney World in the month of September. They left Expo and went to Disneyland with their 5 kids for 2 weeks while they were tagging people on posts in these Facebook groups that do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And by the time they got home, keep in mind they'd never gone Ruby. They were almost all the way to Ruby halfway through the month while 2 weeks on vacation. Okay, here's another testimonial using the Facebook groups. Because they speed up the speed of communication so fast, there is no broken telephone. There's an immediate click, boom, it reaches everybody. In 2 days, because of the Spring Forward promotion, we had over 500 people personally join our organization when we announced the promo, and we posted it in all of our Facebook groups. And I'm going to share with you the 3 Facebook groups you need to have and their purpose. Everyone knew right away, including customers, that we had this promotion. Every single customer in there had loved the product and potential customers, and they said, They were messaging us, not us messaging them. Of course, I do recommend you follow up. I do recommend you work, but this is leverage. They're following up with us left and right and asking us, how can they join? Now, many of those people who joined are eager to build the business because they're so in love with the products after learning about the products for quite a while. They're sitting in there incubating. Bob and Kelly have done Blue Diamond 3 months in a row on way less effort than it took them to even go Emerald originally. We now have team members sponsoring 10 people in their first week, team members sponsoring 60 people in their first few months. We just had a team member qualify for the Global Growth Bonus in her first 2 weeks, heavily leveraged by the Facebook groups. What I'm not saying is don't stop doing mixers, don't stop sampling, don't stop what is working. You can simply add the leverage of what you already have with these systems. Anybody can set them up. They're easy. What this does is it also attracts more people of influence that are tight on time to your business. Because when they think they have to put in another 20 hours a week, tell me right now, if I have enough money and I've got to add more time, if it's going to add stress to my life, I'm not interested. This removes stress and allows them to leverage technology to create success. So Paul, share with me really quickly what your original thoughts were and share with me what has happened in your business with one person who you added to a Facebook group.
Yeah, I'm going to make it really, really quick. I dropped some product off to a good friend of ours up in Ottawa area, and I didn't have a lot of time to communicate with her, and I think I got her into, with her permission, put her into a Facebook group on the information about the product. And again, I didn't do a presentation. I didn't talk about the Ganoderma. I didn't do anything. She calls me 2 weeks later and basically says, okay, I need to go gold, and how do I get started? So I did zero work. And you know what the nice thing is? She went Sapphire 3 months later. And again, not a lot of time, and that's just one example. All you do, you know what you have to become an expert at? You have to become an expert at tagging people in the appropriate posts. You don't have to be an expert on Ganoderma. You don't need to know all the 3,000 PubMed studies. Leave that for Dr. Bob. Just be an expert at tagging people. And that's really the gift of this.
Now, is this person like a professional network marketer or like who is?
No. She's an amazing chiropractor. Dr. Kathy Wickens, Perth. Shout out to her.
This is, and by the way, Ottawa's 4 hours away. Normally, without leverage, you'd have to drive there, sit with her, show her ABC, do mixers with her. People do that, and you can do that, and you should do that, and I did do that, and it worked. But let's add rocket fuel to the back of that, okay? What I want to do really, really quickly with you guys is share. This is going to be a 2-part call. Obviously, as you can see, I wanted to introduce to you guys the journey, the struggle. I did share with you my highlights. I didn't share with you all the times I wanted to quit. I didn't share with you all the times I wanted to cry or even did cry. I didn't share with you guys all the times where I traveled 3 hours and nobody showed up to a mixer. That stuff sucks. Let's help you eliminate that. We traveled to Kenya to do meetings. Nobody in our team is in Kenya today, okay? I want to share with you guys how you can leverage technology to save yourself so much time and put your business on rocket fuel. And the retention with this is ridiculous because instead of people talking to you once a week, they're going to be hearing from you multiple times a day. So 3 Facebook groups, okay? Here's the 3 Facebook groups you need. Next call I do, I will go in depth on what you need. These have taken us over a year to actually implement, but they've been working every step of the way. I cannot give you all the information right away, but I will give you as much information as I can to start you off. Next call I do, I will go deep on what you need to do. In these groups, the name of the group is very important. The cover photo is very important, and the graphics need to be sharp. What are the 3 Facebook groups? I'll get into that in a second, but I just want to share with you guys for graphics. Guys, you can find a millennial on any corner who does graphic design on some of these images for you that you want to create, but you want them to be sharp and you want people to land in there, and you want these to be representative of the culture that you have, you want to create, and the people you want to attract. One Facebook group is strictly for training, upcoming events, leadership development, and recognition. This is your distributor group. Now, you may say, well, this is not important. Well, imagine if you had your upline, Diamond or Blue Diamond or whatever, training all of your people with the click of a button by you tagging them on a post. This is what is possible. Imagine if everybody was fed with passion and excitement by everybody else in your team every single day, because everybody's on this thing all day long, every single day. They're seeing this stuff in their phones every single day. The next group is going to be for customer acquisition, education, testimonials about the product, customers and potential customers, sharing fun product recipes. And the final group is for distributor acquisition. This is a warming plate for all your potential distributors while they are thinking about it. You can also post in here pre-recorded Zoom calls, presenting the business by different leaders in your team, pre-recorded, it's already there, maybe even pre-recorded presentations in different languages. When a promo pack is launched, you post it in there, you got 1,000 prospects in there that just saw it versus everybody having to text 1,000 people individually. Guys, it's not even close to the level of leverage that you have. You want to make them fun. You want to post recognition in some of these groups so people know that other people are winning. The fastest way to get results, saturate people in the culture, get them up to speed as fast as possible. These are bulletproof systems of communication that make everything faster. There could be the Spring Forward special and 90% of your team might not even know about it because not a lot of people check email anymore. Everybody's on Facebook all day long. These groups drip on people over time, and before they get involved, they already feel involved. And like I said, I just wanted to give you a bite of this big project. You know, you may not even know how to do this, but it's as simple as you can imagine. It's as simple as writing your name. It just requires a little ingenuity. You don't have to add anybody to these groups or start using them yet. But if this is something you choose to do, inform your team and your leaders about the concept and educate them so everyone can be on the same page. So after this call, you can set these up and you'll have that done. By the time I get on to the next call, you're going to have a foundation in place. This is just what I'm sharing with you now without having you to do too much at once. But I wanted to share with you guys the struggle so you can understand an easier way. Now, if you don't think this works, look where we are right now on Zoom and Facebook Live. If you don't know how to explain the Facebook groups, tag somebody on this post. I can do all the explaining for you because technology is being leveraged on behalf of you right now, and I don't have to travel to where you are. This is happening. This is recorded. This is going to be here forever. Okay, stay tuned for the next call so you can know how to build these groups in depth. I really wish I could get into more, but this is such a big concept, and I cannot possibly give you everything in one call. Paul,
you're not excited at all, are you?
I love it. Share why you do this. I'm going to share why I do this, and we're going to rock it.
You know what? We got to wrap this up, or they're going to kick us off. But I just want to say I do it for one reason. It's my family. It's my highest value, and I want to thank you, Organo, for giving me the opportunity, for helping me create the lifestyle. Jacob, thank you very much for including me in this call. He's a wise man. He's developing influencers. Very smart, my friend. And I also want to say a huge shout out to my beautiful wife, Nancy, for supporting us, our family, your family. I love the Rakowski family, Miss Diane Solano, Mr. Nam Do, and of course, Mr. and Mrs. Bernie Chu and the whole Chua family. Thank you so much. Jacob, wrap it up for us and let's bring it home.
2 minutes, guys. My why was to be there for my family. And one day I did this 18 years ago. I started this business 7 years ago so I could do this. I started this business 7 years ago so I could do this. I wanted to show up and be a professional dad one day, professional husband one day, give the love and energy and presence to my family and the support that they deserve. And with a full-time job, it's just not possible. Regardless of what you say, you're gone 40 hours a week. And I'm not bashing anything. We're showing you a better way. Please don't take offense to that, okay? I want to help as many people as possible have the same level of time and money freedom and stress freedom. I want to help 1,000 kids have their parents at home with them full time because their parents have time freedom, money freedom, stress freedom, and they can give their kids the love and attention that they deserve, and they can casually work their business from their phones or go meet with someone for coffee or go do a mixer a couple times a week. I would also love to travel the world with 100 best friends, and we're going to do that with the OG Getaway. Now, if you want to be one of those friends, buy your early bird ticket right now, okay, on unite.organogold.com. You're going to get 10 extra OG Getaway points for that purchase. If you buy the early bird ticket, ends May 31st, buy it right now. Get there. I've never missed an event in 7 years. You have absolutely got to be there. And I just want to tell you guys, these people are my family outside my family. And you are who I do this for. You are who I wake up for and still fight for every single day. Once I financially retired at 21, I could have just coasted. I'm making over $10,000 a month. I'm 21. I have no worries. I'm free. But I want everybody and all the kids in this family, in this OG family, and in every single team across the world to have the freedom and love that you deserve and the quality of life that you deserve. I'm so grateful. I'm going to close it out now. I'm so grateful to my wife, who is always so unconditionally loving and supportive of me. You're my number one. You're my best friend. You're my soulmate. And I just love you so much. I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful to my mom and dad. They've made me into the man I am today. I'm grateful to Bernie Chua and the Chua family, Shella, Miss Adeline, everyone at corporate, including Edward, Marco, who helped me with this call, Christelle, Michael, Paul, and Ken for being, and Shella for always taking my calls. I'm always calling her saying, Shella, we need to innovate. Let's do this. And she always listens to me. We are like buddies. We're BFFs. Thank you for your vision in running this company. I want to thank my organization for always believing in me and buying in. When I see something that is not yet physical and I run in that direction, you guys follow, and I love you guys from the bottom of my heart, and for trusting in me. I want to thank Organo, every single person who supported me and inspired me and shown me the way. You've always been there when I needed you. Last but not least, I want to thank God for giving me my life, letting me live this incredible and magical experience, and guiding me every step of the way, and always being here in my heart no matter what. And if you ever have a question, you don't know who to ask, ask your heart, because God lives there and you always know. Let's live your best life, guys. You deserve it. You are worth it. I can't wait to hear your story. With God, nothing is impossible. If you give this business your all, the world is going to know your name. Good night. God bless everyone.